So one thing that I kind of wanted to talk about that I found interesting, I guess it will fall under the politics category. Um, I was watching this video and it had the two extremist groups, right? White versus black. Well, it just so happens to be white versus black. It's really left versus right, but left is usually, I think left is Democrat, or I think left is Democrat. Yeah. See, I don't know a lot about politics. It's usually left is the black and then right is the white. But yeah, I was watching this video and they had this group. It was supposed to be like the new Black Panther Party. And they're called NFAC. Who can guess what NFAC stands for? It stands for Not Fucking Around Coalition. I was like, man, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's a good name. You ain't fucking around. And their leader is Grandmaster Jay. I was like, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up, man. Oh, black people. We funny. We funny as hell. But I support the movement, man. Not fucking around coalition. By all means. And then the other group, or the right group, is called 3%ers. And they're led by a guy named Chris Hill, I believe. And they're part of the security force for Georgia or something like that, they call themselves. And I found it interesting because I spoke about in previous episode how they had the Freedom Georgia thing where a bunch of black families got together and they bought land so that they can feel, safe in their neighborhood or safe in their state. And unbeknownst to me, they had this shit going on. I didn't even know it was a whole fucking right versus left, blue versus red, like political Bloods and Crips shit going on. Like, I didn't even know. And they're like, I saw in the video, they're like walking around, open carrying guns and shit. And I was like, damn, like this is really about to be like another civil war. And it's like, over what? Like, realistically, like over what? Like, what the fuck what are we fighting for? There's really people out there that feel like Black Lives Matter is a threat. What? How are people protesting threat? That's crazy. And then it's like, on the flip side, you got people out here that feel the need that, man, we got to match power with power. We got to match force with force. If they out here arming up, we got to arm up too. That's wild, man. The way to feel like you have to do that in your own neighborhood. Like regular ass people. These aren't people that have gang backgrounds. These aren't people that have street affiliation backgrounds. These are regular ass mom and pops that are going out there like, yo, we got to do something. That's unfortunate, man. I didn't know Georgia got down like that. I really didn't. It's sad, bro. Like, they really have to, and they got kids out there and shit. Like, man, it's this world, man. Well, not even the world. It's this country. I'm not saying other countries don't have problems, but just this country, man. It's just, it's crazy. If people took this same amount of energy and actually was productive with it, man, we'd be doing all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit. We'd be out here moving mountains, man. But it's, what can you say? And as far as Joe Biden and Donald Trump, like, I know people are pushing the whole go vote situation right now. I guess the voting polls are open. I have no fucking clue. Because like I said before, I really don't give a fuck about voting. I think the whole thing is bullshit. But as far as Joe Biden and Trump, I saw that they had more information coming out about Joe Biden. Um, they said that I guess his son is working with Russia or some shit like that. And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I already knew about the whole crime bill situation. I already knew about that, like how he supported that shit back in the day, and how he was calling black people predators back with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, and how he was against the integration of busing. He was against a lot of shit. And people always talk about Donald Trump being a racist and things like that. I don't personally view Donald Trump as a racist. I just view Donald Trump as a hothead. He just says whatever the fuck he wants to say and doesn't really care about the repercussions. If you want to talk about pure racism, in my opinion, Joe Biden is a bigger racist than Donald Trump. And in my opinion, Joe Biden has a longer history of not giving a fuck about black people than Donald Trump. But that's not saying, with that being said, I'm not saying I support either one. I already told you, I'm not fucking voting. So don't look at me to be like, oh, well, you support him, I don't support either one of them. I think they both trash. Like I said before, I'd rather vote for Kanye. Fuck this. Like, if you want me to be honest. But just make sure if you're going out there and you're voting, and you know you are out here thinking that your vote makes a difference and shit like that, just make sure you do your research and just make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you look at more than just, Fox News and MSNBC and shit like that. Make sure you actually go on Google and do your own research, because there's a lot of shit out here that motherfuckers aren't talking about. And I would hate for you to blindly vote just because you felt like you had to. Like I said before, this whole narrative that just because you're black, you're a Democrat, which Joe Biden also said, if you don't vote for me, you're black, you're crazy. Just this whole narrative of just because you're black, you're a Democrat is bullshit. Martin Luther King was a Republican. Everyone talks about Martin Luther King like he's a god. The first black people in the Senate were Republican. This narrative that just because you're black, you have to be a Democrat, do not buy into that. If you want to vote Democrat, by all means vote Democrat, but do not do it because your mama told you, your daddy told you, your neighbor told you. Nah, do your research and vote accordingly.